Afternoon. I would like to welcome all my viewers who are watching us live on our social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube to another episode of Talk to Coach with Dr. D live. Today we have Miss Bharti Chauhan with us. Bharti is a experienced coach. She has been coaching people for the life, relationship, career, and leadership position. She is a speaker for more than 15 years. And today we will be having a very interesting topic. We are going to talk about life and relationship, primarily why to marry, whom to marry. Before we would like to get into our discussion, Bharti, I would like to welcome you for our audience. Why not to share something about yourself and how this topic, why to marry, whom to marry, is so important in today's 21st century with the youths who are about to get married and why they have this kind of challenges relating to the life, marriage, and relationship comes into their life. We will discuss more on that, but why not you share your experience while coaching to the people for life and relationship challenges, why these challenges are there, and what are the key issues are there.
Thank you so much, first and foremost. Good afternoon, Dr. D, and all the viewers out there. It's really interesting to talk about this particular thing. However, just to let you know that my name is Bharti Chauhan. I'm specialized in human potential transformation. Have been working in this field for almost 18 years plus, and being there as a women leadership coach as well as relationship coach. And my few of the participants who are already there on LinkedIn and other people, they already know I run a workshop called Humming Together, where we work post marriage.
Right,
Right. So this I felt so much interesting when the previously also when I attended one of your workshop in Bangalore, based on why to marry and whom to marry, and we were having discussion. That was the day I felt this is something preventive. They call it, right. Prevention is better than cure.
right,
So without getting into trouble, what happens, what I have seen in all these years, that people, they marry maybe out of attraction, maybe falling in love, maybe pressure, maybe social, whatever is the reason,
right,
they marry, they come together. After a few years, the essence is getting lost, maybe due to the external factor or maybe the internal factors, or
right,
maybe the two people, they're not at par in terms of companionship,
right,
and they lose that taste, that sweetness, that trust within, that companionship for which they came for. They lose it, and then slowly and steadily arguments start happening, and they reach to the state wherein it starts impacting children wherever. However, the elderly people, the present generation, and the children all are getting affected by this particular reason, whatever is happening. And then we do little bit of exercises and do processes, get into subconscious mind, do lot of techniques, 2 3 days, just getting rigorously into it, trying to get rid of it. However, does pain go in just one shot or twice or thrice? It doesn't. For years together, if I have accumulated something, I really cannot take that out within 1 or 2 shots. So this is something so wonderful to think before you get into it. What
right,
all those causes, reasons, aspects one can think about, so
right,
that we don't fall prey of it.
right.
So this is what somehow I felt is so much interesting, and I just take one more minute before I invite you to speak more about it. Recently, in our own community from MP, a girl, a father, the father-in-law is into administrative services, some
Right.
commissioner level, and father is in police service, a very senior officer. A girl committed suicide within 2 months,
Yeah,
right? So these kind of scenario, the number of increased suicides, the number of
Right.
increased divorces, I
Mm.
think right seed at right time with the right kind of a information and understanding, if one decides to get into this institution, is one of
Right.
the best thing to happen. Yes, Dr.
Right.
D, this is what I just wanted
Yeah.
to share.
Great. I think you have talked about really insightful things. See, some of the research I would like to share with my viewers who are watching us online.
Ji.
Um, the research says, Bharti, that the peoples who are married after 2010 in India,
Mhm.
in last 15 years, 14
Right.
years,
Right.
around 80% of the peoples are not happy with their marriage.
Agreed.
On a country like India, where 80 lakhs people are getting married every years, like I think many of the continent is equivalent what India it is happening. So out of 80 lakhs people, around 80,000, 80% of them, around 65 to 70 lakhs people are feeling that they are married to a wrong person.
Mhm.
On an average, every middle class individual in India, I'm not talking about the higher middle class and upper class, I'm talking about a simple middle class individual
Ji.
expends around 10 to 15 lakhs rupees in their marriage.
Mhm.
Marriage is a very big event in India for every person, and it's
Absolutely.
supposed to be. There's no harm in having marriage is a wonderful event or wonderful incident or wonderful commitment for the future life. But you just imagine after expending 15 to 10 lakhs of rupees, 80% people are feeling cheated. After 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 1 month, 6 months, and the latest research which I was reading yesterday, it was saying that around 30% of the couples are able to make decision while they are on the honeymoon period whether they are going to stay with the boyfriend or girlfriend or not, or wife or husband or not. Sorry.
Right. Right. I got
So
that.
one third of the couples are able to take decision whether they are going to continue in this relationship or not just after a couple of days of marriage while they are getting into the honeymoon. These situations are so drastically changing in our society, and divorce rate in India is increasing by 30 to 35% year on year.
Right.
When we were growing as a young child, hearing a case of separation and divorce was like big news,
Rare.
very big news.
Hmm.
Like it was like war between two countries, some kind of news was there. Now you close your eyes and you see 10 to 15 people in your society, in your circle, in your friendship, in your colleagues, they are separated and divorced, and they are having challenges and problems in their married life or
Absolutely.
relationship.
Absolutely.
So the challenges are increasing so high that is the reason at Universal Coaching Federation we come up with a beautiful plan where we talk about how we can coach and empower people pre-marriage.
Hmm.
See, a simple thing. You want to drive a scooter, you learn a scooter. You try to drive a car, you learn car. You want to go for a swimming, you learn swimming. But you wanted to get for married, you don't require anything. तो एक्सीडेंट तो होना ही है ना.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what is happening ki all our education from pre-nursery to post-graduation is to make you eligible for getting the job. Nowhere it is talk about making it eligible to make you a good married person. How you can get into a better marriage. And marriage is such an important incident in our life. It changes your humanity.
Absolutely.
Before
Yes.
marriage, before marriage, you are a boy or a girl.
Hmm.
After marriage, you are pronounced as a man and woman. So it is a transition from being a boy and a girl to becoming a man and a woman. And you are transitioning in a phase without having any experience, without having any knowledge, without having any kind of education. And in this 21st century, where peoples are becoming more independent, the boys are independent, the girls are independent, they are equally earning, they are equally capable, they are equally educated, they are equally qualified. They doesn't know how to manage the expectation in the relationship.
Mhm.
So Bharti, we have seen that the expectation before marriage, whatever expectation the boy and girls they have before the marriage,
Mhm.
nothing is relevant after post marriage.
Absolutely.
You will see majority of the girls when they are going for marriage, they
Mhm.
look for a qualified boy,
Mhm.
highly earning boys,
Absolutely.
good from financial background, good from their parents' background, social, settle in a nice city.
Mhm.
But when we were doing research, we talked to more than 500 people, and I asked those people, "Yeah, after marriage, have you seen the salary slip of your husband? You seen the certificate of your husband?" 98% of the people they say that they have not seen the certificate. If you have not seen the certificate, you doesn't know the salary slip, then it means it is not relevant.
Absolutely.
Then why you have married on the basis of this? So if he married based on the basis of I'm not saying that he marrying on the basis of education, qualification, and financial condition is not worth it. It is worth. But is it relevant post marriage? No. There are so many other things which is very important in the life, which is required to be managing the expectation post relationship has to be discussed and understood before the marriage, which we are not able to talk and understand. Similarly, when we are talking to the boys, 95% of the boys they look the beauty of the external beauty of the girl to get married. Education, earning capability is the second criteria.
Mhm. True.
Outlook becomes very, I'm not saying outlook is not very important, it is important. But is that the only thing? Do you have the satisfaction with the same wife after marriage? No.
True.
So you should appreciate the beauty and you should be happy. But that is not happening. So these are the challenges people are facing, and there is no proper system, no proper education is there where they can go and learn and understand this thing, how they can have understand what are the expectation is going to be happening in after marriage. One and foremost thing which we see that once you in India, once girl get married, they go to their husband's house. So it's a big transition happening. Although you might be dating the boys or the girls for 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but you are into a different situation. If you are in a different environment, you are living in your home and the other person is living in your own home. But once you get married, you are going to live together in a different home. So you have to learn and understand the expectation which is going to be in your life, in your society, in your culture, in your religion, with your in-laws, with your relatives. So marriage in India is not just a marriage of two people. You
Absolutely.
marry to a family, and most of them marry. It is a culture, it is the religion, it is the class, it is the culture, it is the society, it is the people in your relationship which are important, playing very role. So these things are not able to be taught anywhere by the parents, or any educational institutions are there in the world who can teach these things. We the first time in India and the world at Universal Coaching Federation, we have launched a very specialized program called Whom to Marry, Why to Marry, to get the answers of all these educations, so that you should be able to prepare. The people should be able to prepare how they can identify their life partner who can be willing to connect with them. One of the second thing which I wanted to understand from you, Bharti, also, like in earlier days when we were growing, mostly females were dependent financially, socially, physically, mentally. They were dependent upon the family or their in-laws or their husband. Their exploitation used to happen, and we have all seen it. Females used to get exploited a lot. Nowadays, especially 21st century, we are talking about, because it is the young generation who are going to get married now. Male and females are both empowered, both educated, both are capable. So they are now highly independent. Because they are highly independent, now they are not ready to listen to each other. One was dependency, when you have to listen to each other in compromising mode, and you feel humiliated, get exploited. On the other hand, now the things has 360 change. It is coming totally different direction. Now you are fully independent, and you lose the trust and respect between wife and husband. We always say interdependency is the key for success in marriage. We have to be capable, we have to be financially free, we have to be independent. But dependence, independence, both is required through interdependency. Absolute dependence is also bad, absolute independence is also not proven to be wrong. So, just I wanted to understand from your perspective, we have been coaching a lot of couples, how this dependency and interdependency and extra independency also creates problems and challenges in the people's life as far as managing the relationship is concerned, as a spouse, as a wife and husband.
So before I go to this is specialized thing, what you have said about dependency, interdependency. And the other day I was going through the Christianity, and there is a very beautiful explanation is there for marriage, that marriage is for one, uh, companionship, two, procreation, and three, the purpose,
Right,
to solve the purpose. This is as per Christianity.
right.
And Hinduism, we have uh, uh, first is Brahma,
Yeah,
that Vanaprasth, Grahasth,
yeah,
and the last is Sannyas.
yeah.
First is you're not in the
Yeah,
physical
yeah.
relationship. Yeah. So now in here also, if you really see what is being taught by these kind of demarcation, it
Right,
is two people, they come together as
right.
companion,
True,
they produce prodigies, and then after producing the prodigies, they are giving back something to the community,
true.
right? So here is the purpose. Now,
Right,
this whole thing got diluted.
right,
People, they become very self-centric. It
right.
is I and my husband.
True,
We come together and we say, okay, now children are not, because we wanted to bring a prodigy. Children are as an act, so they
right.
have come to the life.
True, right,
Now, suddenly, all of a sudden, after a few years, the lady thinks, oh my God, what about my dreams? I've
yeah,
just given my life to children and family. Then I start thinking about my life.
right,
Then either the later I become independent, or in the start itself, when I was getting into the institution, I was
right,
independent. Now, thinking on that financial independence, I think I have taken over of my whatever spouse or whoever, boy or
right,
girl, I'm
right,
independent of gender.
right.
Now, this is what is happening. What
Yeah,
happened to the purpose?
yeah,
What happened to that companionship?
yeah.
Is it lost? Is it lost because you are earning more or I'm earning less, or you are not giving me that opportunity to spend the way I want, or I want to live the way I want to live, or XYZ, whatever, 10 things. Now, number two of this, but a girl says or a lady says that no, I don't want to get into this, I just cannot manage, I'm independent, I'm earning this much, I will go back if you don't come on my terms. Now, in the earlier days, parents, because girls were not earning, parents were not coming up with all the sport, because they knew that if the girl comes back, she becomes a responsibility. Now
Right.
goes back, she shares the responsibility.
Yeah.
They are also not telling not to do it.
Yeah.
Now, nobody is talking what was the purpose you got into it. What
Right.
we thought for this long journey as a companion. And
Right.
what is have you decided to give back to the society? Nothing.
Right.
It's all zero. It's all
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
The day attraction goes, the
Right.
day money drops down, the
Yeah.
day somebody is not able to take kind of a car I want, a kind of a house I want, or whatever XYZ, my
Right.
things, slowly it starts diluting. So
Right.
I think interdependency in terms of me and my spouse
Right.
coming together,
Yeah.
deciding something what is that we want to do in the life
Yeah. Yeah.
as companion, not as the controller or the owner of each other.
Right.
Go ahead. And then finally we end up the life, with the last 20 years giving something back to the society. So
Right.
the main thing is missing, Dr. D,
Yeah.
so that this whole thing is, I am independent, or I am dependent about my every being upon my husband. These all things become egoistic, self-centric thing. And possibly
Right.
because of this reason, we are, not able to reach there where we are supposed to come as a destination of what we call wedding. Vivah.
Right, right. I think you are sharing very wonderful thought. The whole structure in our Indian wisdom, our life has been divided into four parts of ashrama. As you were explaining, starting from brahmacharya.
वानप्रस्थ मैं भूल गई थी.
Yeah, yeah. So it starts from the brahmacharya, then you go to the grihast, and then you go to the banprastha, and you go to the sannyas.
Yes.
So the four stages are there, and it has been beautiful designed. Till you are bachelor, you are doing your study, you are creating your career, you are into a brahmacharya stage. When you are fulfilled with your education, qualification, certification, and you are looking to explore the possibility to create and get into a family life and relationship, you get into a grihastha
Yes.
ashram.
बिल्कुल.
And that starts with getting marriage.
Right.
And without getting married, you cannot get into a grihastha ashram. The
Absolutely.
next stage starts with the beginning of the marriage. If a person doesn't get into marriage, whole of the life he is going to remain a brahmachari. He is not called as a grihast in our India. He is
True.
going to remain, he or she is going to remain as a brahmachari unless you are going to get into marriage. So you're transitioning from one stage of brahmachari to grihast happen through the marriage, and that is the one of the biggest purpose of
Absolutely.
getting married.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And then getting into the grihast, you have the opportunity to do the work,
Grow together.
your kids, raise your kids, have the family, get together, and then get into the third stage of our life where we get into the Banprasth, where you start creating the contribution. You should start contributing to the society. You start adding value to the education system, to the wisdom, to the society, to the country, to culture, to our religion, to whatever faith and belief you have. And the last stage we are called sannyas, where you are totally getting into your spiritual journey, where you are getting to discover what is the real purpose of getting life on this earth and how you can transition this from one stage to another stage.
True.
And that is the way, like, somewhere our whole system got diluted in between. The whole structure got diluted, and there is no such a structure exist in this world. And that is the reason when I coach people, and you must have experience, a lot of people, the young generation people who are not married, I coach them. They don't have a purpose why they should get married.
Hmm. True.
There is no purpose why they wanted to get it married. Earlier, even a physical attraction used to be the purpose, but that nowadays that is also not there, because the freedom in our society, many of the people are able to experience the physical relation before the marriage.
Absolutely.
So that is also no more a attraction in our society and life. Then the people, they ask that, why the hell I should get married? Is that going to take the responsibility? Do I am going to get a spouse which is going to be of my kind, my thought, my wisdom, my awareness? And these are the challenges are coming, especially many of the girl child which has been coached by me. I have experienced they are very much serious about what is happening in the society, how the relationship, how the separation, how the divorce, how the
Yes.
toxicity in the relationship is increasing day by day. And you are end up nowhere, because ultimately a sufferer is from both side, male and female both are sufferer. But what happens, Bharti, because of the motherhood, the females are more sufferer. If the female becomes a mother and she has to raise the kids and family, and then you don't have a better relation with your spouse, raising kids in a better way, creating the better future generation in those toxic environment, uneven environment, unplaced environment becomes very difficult. And then the females come into a real challenge, what decision they should take in their life. And sometimes they are not able to take the strong decision. They continue to be into this unfavorable or uneven situation, or a non-loving situation in the family, and they feel a very inferior quality of life, and that is creating a lot of mental problems and anxiety and depression and sadness to the people who doesn't have better married life. In our coaching program, what we have designed about the whom to marry, why to marry, the same thing we have transformed into a different stages. I call it the four stages of marriage, which starts from your emotional intimacy, then you get into the physical intimacy, then you get into the intellectual intimacy, and then you call it into spiritual intimacy. So what happens ki unless your emotions are matching, unless your emotions are matching with your spouse, it is very difficult to create better life and better relationship, better life partner. We called a spouse as a life partner. So when your thoughts are thoughts and feeling and emotions, your thought, your feeling, your emotions are not going to match, you cannot call it as a soulmate.
True.
Unless your soul is matching, unless your emotions are matching, you are not called as a soulmate. These are the different name we know a couple as. We know as a life partner, we know as a spouse, we know as a soulmate. So you just remain a spouse. You are never able to become a soulmate unless you get into your emotional intimacy. Once your thought, feeling, emotions are matching, you are able to emotionally connect with the people. And when you emotionally able to connect with your spouse, you become a soulmate. And when you become a soulmate, then you get into a physical intimacy, and that physical intimacy will able to give you a much in-depth level of understanding what is the core purpose of the marriage is there. And with emotional and physical intimacy, you transition into a intellectual intimacy where you are able to create contribution for the society, for your kids, for your family, for your culture, for your class, for the people in your life. And while contributing the creating the contribution through your intellectuality, you have the opportunity to transition into the spirituality, where you start experiencing the companionship. The true companionship is required at the level of intellectual intimacy and spiritual intimacy. Those days, more than the physical intimacy, your companionship in terms of intellectuality and spirituality is required more. Many of the senior people we have coached, they are very well to do in position, profile, retired well, lot of money, everything is there. But what they are missing, they always keep on saying me, Dr. D, everything is there, but I miss companionship with my spouse. And it is in both case, both the male and female had happened. Because we are not able to connect emotionally with your spouse, you are not able to connect well with in your physical and emotional intimacy, you will never get into your spiritual, your intellectual and spiritual intimacy. And on the basis of this, we have designed our program where you start your journey by identifying a life partner which is having the same kind of emotional connects. So what you know your personality first. By knowing your oneself, you know about your emotion, you know about your own personality, and the basis of that, you have the opportunity to identify and choose your life partner. And when you are able to connect emotionally, everything automatically happens. You don't require it becomes a seamless integration without any efforts. If your emotions are matching, three stages happening automatically in a flow. But the bigger part problem is that our choice, the choice we make it before our marriage, is not about our emotion. Even so-called discussion we do while meeting our life partner before marriage, that is also not about our emotion. That we talk about our money, our honeymoon, our job, our career, our business, our financial planning, where we will buy the house, when we will buy the car, when we will go for a Europe trip. but we never talk about what are our emotional connects are there. So you connect with the people on the external features, which is the acquired personality, we call it in our coaching terminology. So you are connecting with an acquired personality, and when you get into the reality after marriage, you start getting emotionally hurt, and there the problems and challenges starts coming in post marriage, and it starts happening in the honeymoon period also. The research which I said it, 30% of the people are able to take decision whether they are going to stay with this person or not. It is perfectly fine, and I think other 70% who are not able to decide, I think they are not having the better awareness and wisdom. If they have better awareness and wisdom, they will able to find it much earlier. And yesterday, surprisingly, I was talking to one of our coach from the our federation only, and she was talking to me that she is coaching one of the lady. She is a very nice lady and very decent. Just 2 years back, she got married, and that lady is coached by one of our coaches in our Universal Coaching Federation. And she got married to a. She's a very pretty lady. She got married to a very rich family. Well, comparatively, they were not from a very highly influential family, but she got married to a very rich family. Problem what had happened? Ki this rich family, they are having a guru baba. Then one spiritual guru is there in that family, and whatever that guruji says, that has to be followed in the family. And this girl was coached by one of our coach. She used to say that he now even we have to start getting into the physical intimacy unless Guru Baba says that ki, this is the particular day I cannot get into the physical and emotional intimacy with my husband. क्या करना है, क्या खाना खाना है, क्या पीना है, क्या ड्रेस पहनना है, कैसे सोना है, कैसे जागना है, everything is influenced by some spiritual guru who is misguiding them, and their life has become so difficult. The girl was saying that ki, my life has become so difficult ki I don't think there is no problem in the family, not at all a single problem. They are rich people, no problem for money, no facility, food, clothing, everything is there, jewelry, car, everything is there, but the freedom of understanding and freedom of expression is not there. You cannot do the things as per your own wish. And you know what, the coach, she was talking to me and she asked me, Dr. D, I told her to get rid of that family before having the baby. Because once you have a baby, it will be very difficult to come out of that toxic environment, and one day you will become mad. She coached her for many years to understand ki, is this the only challenge or something different is there? So she said that ki, absolutely there is no difficulties there in family. Everybody is perfect, but only thing is that you don't have freedom of expression. You are under the trap of that spirituality, and it is somebody else is misguiding it. So you cannot live your life based on your own expectation. They are used to of because they have born in that particular family, but this girl is fine to be imprisoned in that golden cage. And the idea, she was saying that I liked it, like she said that once you have the babies, then you will stuck up because you don't have any other reason. Now there will be another responsibilities, and you have to raise the babies and kids, so your freedom is lost for the entire life. So I'm just saying that our program, whatever we have designed, it has the opportunity to take the people through their own understanding, who they are, what is their purpose, what is their vision about their life, and how they can select a better life partner to be in the relationship and create a more meaningful information to experience the true love, true intimacy, and true companionship through this program, which is called Why to Marry, Whom to Marry. Would you like to add
Probably
anything
I
more? Yeah.
I liked something a lot. One statement hooked me when you said that first you get married, and then once the emotional intimacy, the phase two is coming up, that is the time when you develop you being a soulmate. Actually, till now, what we have heard or learned from people or the text available in the books and whatever, it has been said, slowly you grow and then you become a soulmate. So that there is the lag. There is the lag, which is responsible of such kind of incidences what you just spoke, right?
Yes, yes,
Because I feel such a beautiful relationship if any two people, young couple, they get into marriage, and then once they get into marriage, they give that much space not to that body and mind or the physical appearance, but they try to peep into the other person's deepest core emotions.
right.
Right? Once you get into deepest core emotions, you're able to touch upon that source, that soul.
Yes,
And the moment you are, I'm not saying you become soulmate then and there only, the moment you are touched upon, I'm sure you are giving that space to your wife, you're giving that space
right.
to your husband.
Yes,
Forget about, see, such situations. Suppose something is heavily bonded over me, okay, you have to do this, 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 and I'm succumbing, I'm depressed,
right,
I'm stressing.
right,
If my husband says, see, look, I know all this is happening is all everything is stupid. And
right.
if people are actually, they do not know what they're doing, they
True,
are operating from ignorance.
right.
However, I am I'm not an ignorant person, and I
True,
take you as a very knowledgeable person, not ignorant.
right.
Let's make a bond wherein
True. Yeah,
both of us, we take a path wherein we are sharing things at the deepest level.
right. Yeah,
However, managing with ignorant people. Now, this statement gives me strength.
right. Very good point. Whatever you said, Bharti, this is the problem we have. What happens? Ki all the books has been written based on the acquired personality.
Absolutely.
What we talk about is the real personality. It is impossible to change the emotion of any person. So you
Yeah.
born with an emotion.
Yes.
So if you marry to a wrong person with different emotion, whole the life has gone.
Totally. Totally.
So I'm not saying that you should match 100% emotion, but I'm saying 51%.
Absolutely. Just to touch upon.
Just
I should be
51%.
known. Yes.
Yes,
You were ready. Yeah.
yes, 51% can transform into 70%, 80%,
Absolutely.
90%. But what happening if we are not thinking about the emotion before marriage and we are thinking about logical things like earning money, salary, job, position, which is not relevant after marriage. After marriage we are looking for our own decision making, our own peace, our own satisfaction, our own love, our own intimacy. Unless you are emotionally bound, how you can experience all these things?
Absolutely.
You
True.
are not going to sleep with a note of bag, and you are not going to sleep in a golden car. You are going to sleep on the bed with a person who is having emotional connect with you.
Absolutely. Right.
Unless you are emotionally connect, you have to take medicine to sleep also. And that is happening unfortunately. You can have a big house, big car, nice bed, comfortable bed, but when you are emotionally not connect, you will never be happy, and you have to take a sleeping pill for getting the nice sleep. And this is the way it is causing the mental problems for the people. I was surprisingly understanding so many mental problems and challenges are happening in India nowadays: anxiety, depression, hypertension, sugar, cardiac problem, cancerous problem. These are all coming because of the mental imbalances, mental depression, mental sadness. And all this is coming because we are not happy with our life, we are not happy with our relationship. Yes, country has grown. We are become a kind of a developing country or developed country. Economical condition has improved. A lot of peoples are financially better off. So India is no more a poor country or no more a growing country. We have already grown up to a level because financial problems and challenges are not bigger. The bigger problem which is coming it is the emotional problem, the survival problem, the relationship related problem. So we would like to invite all our audiences to have any other questions relating to the marriage, why to marry, whom to marry. If you have any marriage problems or relations, you can write it to us on our comment, or you can go to our Facebook, Instagram, social media site, even LinkedIn or our website. You can write it to us and we will able to help you with your life, relationship, marriage related problems and challenges. Universal Coaching Federation is the largest coaching organization in India with more than 200 coaches in almost all cities of India, and we are internationally serving in 7 different countries. So, any places where you have any kind of help, we have our capable coaches who are highly capable, experienced, certified, and educated and trained on a certified framework with research based ideas. They are ready to help you all. So, I'd like to thank you, all my audience, again. You are a lovely audience, and thank you for being part of us. And we will be coming next week again with another episode of Talk to Coach, where we will be able to talk on a better topic, good topic, which is useful for you. Whole purpose of us is that how we can add value, how we can solve and resolve challenges and problem of the people's in life. That is the whole purpose of the coaches and being a coach for me and the Universal Coaching Federation. Thank you,
Thank you.
Bharti. Thank you a lot. Thank you.